Welcome to Spotlight. I'm your host, Kevin Miller, and today I'll be speaking with Port Huron Area School District Superintendent Theo Kerhoulas. Today's show is sponsored by Women's Life Insurance Society. Well, welcome, Theo. It is always good to see you, my friend.
My pleasure, my friend. My pleasure.
It seems possible that we're on the precipice here of the start of another school year, and for you, it's you're newer in the seat as superintendent, but you're looking forward to another year.
Yeah, I definitely want the kids back. I've talked to lots of parents who also want the kids back.
That's the most wonderful time of the year.
They come up to me in the store, the grocery store, and they're like, "Let's go, it's time to start school." I go, "Another week?" But no, I can't wait to have the kiddos back. And I got to tell you, we miss you, man. We miss you around town and everything, and it's great to have you back in town when you're able to. So
I'm enjoying retirement, but I do miss all the talk about schools and my role, but it's good to see you. I know you do want to give a hearty thank you because you had a little thing that's not so little called a millage renewal out there.
Absolutely. Our community came through for us as they always do, but I don't take it for granted. And for our 18 mills, our millage, for them to turn out 2-1 and vote yes for our millage for the next 10 years, we're fiscally stable. And I'm just so proud of our community because I take that trust that they showed us. I don't take that for granted, and our team at Port Huron Schools doesn't take it for granted. So thank you to the community for getting out there and voting and sending us a message that you trust us, and we don't take that for granted.
So you're, I think, starting your 9th year at Port Huron Schools.
Yeah.
I know what you.
9 years when I left you up at Cross and Lexington.
I know.
We broke up the team for a little bit there.
But I'm really proud of the work that the team has done through the 9 years. But then also, as you became superintendent, there was still a lot to do. So talk a little bit about your start as superintendent and now where you're headed.
Yeah, when I took over, this is year 4, but I took over midway through the year. We were right smack dab in the pandemic, and we were designing the airplane as we flew it. We were trying to figure things out, and I won't forget that first year. We really had to reach out to our kids and our staff. We actually named it. We called it the voice session because we were trying new things, and we had to into our community too. We were trying new things. Some days we were hybrid, some days we were out of school, some days we were back wearing masks, not wearing masks, social distancing, and we were intentional to get out to the kids, ask them what's working, what's not, asking the staff. Where's your pressure? How can we support? And I think obviously I hate that the pandemic happened, but it built a real strong bond between the staff and the students and the families, and we all got through it together. So we ended up stronger than we started.
As you start in 2023-24 school year, what are you most looking forward to with that in the past?
Right. Really getting down to the basics of education, because we don't have those strong pressures. But Kevin, I gotta tell you, and if you're not in education, you don't know this. There's a bubble of loss that we will be dealing with for the next, a first grader that went 3 years through the pandemic, hybrid, out of school, this or that. That learning loss is going to continue with that group all the way through, but we've intentionally been able to prepare for it. Like this summer, we had, I have the numbers right here. I want to make them up. I got them right here. We had 264 kids in secondary summer school, and we regained 643 half credits. So those kids, what that tells me is those kids slipped over that's a way bigger number than we would have pre-pandemic. Those kids had slipped. We intentionally put programs in place. Thank you to the government for being so we're able to fund it, and we regained 643 credits. And that is a huge amount of kids back on track for graduation. That's our goal, right? Get them to the finish line so they can go to college, post-secondary, military, into the workforce, and that's our goal. And this summer, 6 kids graduated that hadn't graduated 2 months ago, and that's just awesome when we can celebrate those kids.
When we were preparing for today's program, I watched something that just brings both a smile and a kind of a tear to my eye too, and that's Victory Day. It was on the TV out here playing on Thumbcoast TV as you walked in, and I wanted to ask you about that because that's got to be one of those moments as the leader of Port Huron Schools that you go, oh my gosh.
Yeah, and I got to tell you, as leader of Port Huron Schools, I am just the water boy. Tracy Hopp and the team at Port Huron High, they run the whole thing. I just give water to kids when they need it at center field. But I'll never miss it. It's such a proud moment. If you don't know what it is, our Port Huron High's football team and the band and the cheerleaders and the dance team and we invite all the special needs kids from the county. We give them a football at at midfield, and our offensive line blocks, and our defensive line tries to tackle them, and every one of them got a touchdown. I guess we got to work on our defense. Of course, our kids really ham it up, and they dive for them and try to tackle them, but they get in there, and the band plays, the cheerleaders. It's just a beautiful, beautiful event. Super proud of that. And when I watched that video that you're talking of, if you look closely, I think the football team and the band and the cheerleaders and the dance and those kids are smiling even more than the special needs kids because it's just a two-way street. It's great for everybody.
Absolutely, absolutely. Anything else as we close out the program that you'd like to highlight as you start the school year in 2023-24?
Yeah, we just got notified that, as you know, we went through a really tough, I'm really proud of our district, a really tough transition to retire 3 mascots, the biggest one, the Port Huron High Big Reds, who are now the Red Hawks. So go Red Hawks. Tomorrow night at the football game, our first home football game, go Red Hawks. But that's tough, right? It's tough on everybody. There's lots of mixed feelings, and we intentionally included everybody in the process, and we did it. And we were just kind of validated because the Native American Heritage Fund, which is a indigenous group out of Battle Creek, we asked them for support, and they just awarded a grant for $163,000 to help us, because it's an expensive transition. Scoreboards, band uniforms, football uniforms, things like that. So super proud of that, and that was the biggest award this year and the 5th biggest in the history of the grant. So, proud of Port Huron.
That puts a stamp of approval, doesn't it, on you did the right thing.
Right.
So, Theo, great to see you. You've been a good friend for years, but it's always great to talk to you about your school district and everything great that's happening.
Always a pleasure.
Okay, good to see you. And thank you for joining us on Spotlight.